What's good, family? It's your boy Old Soul J, and I'm back with another video. Now look, I gotta make something clear right now. Just because you're older than somebody does not mean you could little boy them, little brother them, little bro them, son them, or even give them advice. Sometimes a person could be way more advanced than you, and that could be in anything. That could be mentally, that could be spiritually, that could be physically, financially, health-wise. Well, that's physical as well, but whatever. They could be way more advanced than you and be much younger than you. Being older than somebody doesn't automatically mean that you know better or you know more. A lot of times, a person who's much older than somebody does have a lot more experience. They're less naive. They may be more wise. They may have been through things that person, the younger person, may have been through. A lot of times, yes, that is the case, but it's not always the case. There are older people, and I'm talking 40, 50 years old, who are very emotionally immature or just immature overall. There are people who are in their early 20s or even teenagers who are super emotionally mature, super mature, self-aware, just more advanced. Now, if you have more experience, this is the thing. You cannot give advice to somebody who has more experience than you in something as well. You can't. You can't. You just can't. You cannot give advice to somebody that's doing something that you've never done before. Now, when it comes to certain things that you may have been through already, sure, if you've made it further than them, or if you just had more experience in that thing, then yes, of course you could give them advice. You've heard this before, but experience is the best teacher, and that's the realest thing ever. So if somebody who doesn't have experience in something is trying to tell me what I'm doing, tell me something about myself, it's hard to hear you. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I analyze everything that a person may try to tell me, but a lot of times, especially if I know what I'm talking about, or if I know about the said topic and I know what you're saying is just not true, or I just know that I know better, I'm not hearing you. Why should I? You haven't earned that. It has very little significance. It has very little meaning. It's not credible when you don't have the experience. That's just a simple fact of the matter. And now this goes the other way around as well. Just because a person is younger than you doesn't mean they can't teach you something. There's things in life that I've learned from people that were younger than me. There was a time where, I'll give you a small example, and a lot of times I relate life to working out because it's just a simple way to explain things. But there was a time where I was very scrawny, right? I'm not the biggest guy, you know what I mean? I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm not that small either. So there was a time where I was very, very small though. And I want to say this was around, I was a grown man though already though. I was about 19, 20 years old. And one of my younger brothers, I have 3 younger brothers, but one of my younger brothers, he was the same size as me. He started going to the gym. He started changing his diet, and he got really big. My younger cousin also did the same thing. Now, some people will be super egotistical where they'll be like, it will hurt their pride to seek guidance from that person. Get some advice. At the time, I wanted to get bigger, and I had no issue going to my younger brother and my younger cousin and asking them, what did you do to gain all those muscles? What was your plan? What did you do exactly? How did you eat? What did you eat? When did you eat? When did you go to the gym? How many times a week? What workouts did you do? I was asking them all that, and guess what happened? I went from 150 to 170 in 2 months. Straight muscle. Right now I'm about 168, but imagine that. I used to be walking around 150. Soaking wet. And and this is the thing, a younger person is going to respect you more because that's how you learn. You shouldn't think about the age, because they both knew already that there's certain things that I'm experienced in that I could tell them about, and if they asked me, I would be open to telling them. But that they did something that I wanted to do. They did it right in front of my face. Both of them were just as small as me at a time. We were all the same size at a time, and then they both blew up, and they didn't do it together. They did it separately. And they're on their own times. The brother I'm talking about was my half brother from my dad's side, and my cousin is from my mom's side, so they don't even really know each other. And they both did it around the same time, and I took things from both of them. So that's the thing. Just because a person is older than you does not mean that they know better than you, and just because a person is younger than you does not mean that you cannot learn from them. Older people sometimes are just a little bit too entitled. They feel like that you gotta respect them automatically just because they're older. Now, I do understand respect your elders, but I respect everyone initially. I don't disrespect anyone if they don't give me a reason to. Now, I'm not going to respect any person, though, that's disrespected me, let alone an older person. Very simple. There's been too many times where a person with no experience in something is trying to tell me how I should move in something that I actually have experience in. Just because they're older than me, they feel like they could tell me, bro, no. And now you could see, as my name on the channel, I'm Old Soul J. Some people have old souls and some people have younger souls. There are people who may be much younger than you, and they've been here before multiple times. I mean, a lot of us been here before already, but some of us have been here a lot more. And you take things with you onto the next life with your soul. Here's a perfect sign of an older soul and a younger soul. When they're children, how obedient are they? A lot of people think that has to do with how they're raised. Yeah, that plays a part. I could tell you firsthand example. I have multiple brothers. We're not all the same. We were raised the same way though, but we were not the same as children. Some of those things are natural. That's your soul. And you could tell a younger soul when they get older and they just still act like a knucklehead. Like they just can't get it right. They're just always doing they're making the wrong choices, getting into the wrong things. Those are younger souls. An older soul just naturally knows better. And you can't tell me that that's strictly off of your upbringing, because like I said, I have brothers who were raised the same way and we didn't make the same choices. And it's all love. I love my family. You know, I don't want to, it's all love at the end of the day. But this is just the fact of the matter. Your nature tells it all. There are people who are very closed-minded and life doesn't even teach them as they get older that they should be open-minded. And you know, some of that comes with age as well, but a lot of times that's another sign for an older soul. They're more open-minded. And I could tell you a perfect example. When I used to work for transit, I was a track worker. I was working, majority of the people I was working with were much older than me. I was one of the youngest people there. In my station, in the location I was working at, I was literally the second youngest person in that entire station, that entire location. I was working with guys in their 40s, 50s, 30s. Some of them would think the way that I thought when I was 18. They would see life the way that I saw life when I was 18. What is all those years of life and experience taught them? What has it taught them? Some people receive things, are more receptive to things quicker than others because their soul is used to being here. It knows it's been here before, it's seen it before, it's seen it already, so it's receiving, and you're getting a better understanding of how things move or how things work, or you just know better. Your intuition is stronger. Age does not equal wisdom. But now don't get me wrong, there are wise elders. Now a older soul, or just somebody who's just naturally wise, and they're an older person, they've been in the world for a longer time, now that is somebody, when I'm old, I know like I'm gonna be one of those elders, like, okay, he has something to say. You know what I'm saying? Or his words hold value. There are wise elders, and then there are egotistical elders who they're just too driven by their ego. Some people resonate so deep in their ego that everything they do is to feed that. Is to feed their ego. Every decision that they make is to feed their ego. Literally. Those are the type of people who their pride is hurt when they see a younger person that's doing better than them or just knows better than them or something. Those type of people automatically feel like they're automatically supposed to be ahead or better or above, when that's just not always the case. And now me personally, I know how to read people. So I can tell when a person is resonating in their ego more than anything. So honestly, those kind of people, they just got a lot of growing to do. That type of person, especially if they don't have experience in what I'm doing, they can't tell me anything. Now, everyone grows physically, but some people stay in the same mindset for a long period of time that they're not actually growing. Mentally and spiritually, they're not growing. They're not. They're living the same life. They're having the same week every week. We're all ignorant to something. So just because you may be older than somebody does not mean that you're more knowledgeable than them in every field of life. There's probably things that you know that they don't, and there's probably things that they know that you don't. I've learned things from people older than me, but I've also learned things from people younger than me. Just remember to not let age dictate whether you decide a person has wisdom or not. That's all I gotta say for today. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. I love y'all.